It's the most exciting job in the world to work with startups and help them create a new opportunity, a new industry, a new idea. There is nothing like it.
To be a successful startup here, you need to be passionate. Everybody needs to be passionate. The founders, the management team, and certainly the investors as well. And I think that's what gets you passionate, is the ability to change the world.
The loudest discussions are usually the best discussions because they source everybody's issues and people either accept them or reject them, and we move on and make an investment, or we don't, and people know why.
Having gone through multiple waves of the communications landscape and having a broad network of relationships across that industry is invaluable to our entrepreneurs.
At the end of the day, you have to work with somebody for a long time. It's a 3 to 5 year marriage, and that's everything. And so finding that right chemistry and working with someone is really what makes a difference.
There's always somebody bigger, more established, with a bigger brand, who should, if they focus their energies properly, be able to capitalize on a market. In reality, that never happens. So what do? We commandeer the best capital, the best people, and the best intangible resources we need, technology, IP, people's brains and minds, and go address those markets.
Firefly is a revolution. It's a company that's creating a new market where there was no market before.
In the U.S., there's 21 million kids in the 8 to 12 demographic, and only 10% of them, only 10%, have adult cell phones.
Unlike normal cell phones, which feature numbers 1 through 9 and allow you to call just about anywhere in the world today, we've actually designed the phone so that it's down to 5 buttons. You've got a phone book key that holds up to 20 numbers in it, a mom key, a dad key, and then a talk and an end key.
Putting a communication device in the hands of a child who's between 6 and 12 that can now talk to his parents and talk to a few well-selected people on a phone that is purposely designed for him.
Indeed, parents wanted a level of control. They wanted a control over who their kid was calling, who was calling their kid, and financial control. And an adult cell phone does not give a parent that level of control, that level of peace of mind.
I have 3 daughters from the ages of 6 to 10 who, when shown this device, jumped for it, brought it to school, got 10 of their friends to all want to buy one, so it made a very intuitive investment decision.
We gear ourselves to where the parents and the kids intersect.
This is not just a consumer device, this is a branded consumer device with a big web tie-in.
We have to admit that this is a lifestyle play. It is an execution play.
A team that knows how to execute makes all the difference. And that's what we invest in people for.
I love building high-performance teams.
They've captured the hearts and minds of many major retailers and cell phone companies who will now go out and sell this device.
If the entrepreneur walks in and says conventional wisdom says the world's going to take a right turn in 2 years, and he thinks it's going to take a left turn in 2 years, and that's where we think venture should play, and that's where we think the outsized returns are.
In the last few years, we've seen software as a service really become the dominant way that people want to go on demand. And this is really companies like Salesforce.com and Right Now, WebEx, or even companies you don't think of like eBay, are truly software companies who are offering a service as opposed to selling licensed software.
They're starting to figure out, okay, my core competency is my ability to build this application and get clients to use that application as my business. Why would I want to pay for all this infrastructure over here when that's not my core competency?
The fact is, all services have common elements. They have users, you have assets, you have permissions, you have response calls and escalation procedures. And what you realize is those common elements, about 70% of a service level, has nothing to do with the technology that's actually being delivered. It's about how you answer the customer phone call, what's going on, how you monitor it. You may use different tools, but you're going to do things in a very consistent fashion.
What we're really focused on is helping that company understand what software as a service might mean to their market.
They're buying something that makes them a better salesperson, that helps them order pizzas. And there's a wide variety of different things it can do. They just want to make sure that it runs right every time.
As the ultimate consumer, I no longer have to worry about building out infrastructure. I don't have to get IT involved. And if I'm not happy with the service, I can just cut off and stop paying. That's not the way it is in traditional software. In traditional software, it's very expensive to implement. It may take many months to get the thing running, and then if you're not happy with it, you're stuck with it because you've already paid for it.
That's really what OpSource ensures, that you take the best of what the software does for the customer and the best of what we can provide on the services side to give them really the overall best experience.
We're pretty consistent on what we're looking for. We are not looking for being incrementally better. We're looking for ones that really are a revolution, not an evolution.
Azul is a fascinating company, and they have the opportunity to revolutionize what's happening in technology today.
It's very straightforward. We eliminate the need to capacity plan around the function of compute at the individual application level.
Everybody else in the market is trying to sell you a single server with a single application on it.
By building a microprocessor from the ground up, the first major new microprocessor built in this century, we have addressed architecturally from the ground up the power issue. You're hearing Intel and AMD and Sun and IBM talk about that. They're taking small steps forward. We have taken enormous steps forward.
Most of the multi-core chips that are out there, you cannot put multiple of them in one box. It's sort of one per box.
This is our first generation system, what we call the 3840. Is the largest symmetric multiprocessing system ever built. 384-way multiprocessing system, all obviously in a form factor that's only about 18 inches tall. The capacity of this particular box is equal to some of our competitors' boxes that are several sub-zero size refrigerators wide.
We have a 96-way, 96 coherent processors in a 5U form factor. It's a little over 6 inches tall. It's extraordinary density, and our 96-way only consumes 700 watts of power. That's the equivalent of 7 light bulbs worth of power.
But then the other beauty that, when you talked about the wow factor of why this is so important the way we have done it, is that can be used from any system that you currently are running your applications on. You don't have to do anything different than what you're doing now to tap into this power. That's the beauty. Right? That's what makes it so appealing to a customer.
This is very unique. This is not yet another virtualization, yet another storage, yet another data management. It's a very novel, different way of looking at the problem.
This is a sea change. This is an extraordinarily enabling technology. This is the future of computing.
Really compelling technology, and most importantly, the team in place to go make it work.
Big guys think along a linear path, and that's 20% better, 15% better. We have to look for the order of magnitude of change, someone who's really breaking free and thinking differently. And that's what we have to be attuned to, seeing and understanding. The guy doesn't come with a team or a business plan completely fleshed out, but he has a nugget and he has a vision, and it's our job to take that, apply capital and our resources to make that happen. And that's the art of what we do.
There's nowhere else I'd want to be. So I think we're well positioned right now. I think we have a great team, most importantly.
Having the creativity to define communications opportunities and the impact of communications more broadly allows us to have a very broad sandbox to play in.
Being in the venture business at a firm like this is really fun. And the reason it's fun is you have this forum to debate where you think the world's going to go. And you have really smart minds sitting across the table with you to debate those issues.
I think there are probably some other firms that approach it in a similar direction, but I think that we take it to the nth degree.
It's the most exciting job in the world to work with startups and help create a new opportunity, a new industry, a new idea. There is nothing like it.